Alright, what you see here is a Relite industrial ceiling fan. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace last year with Nathan, better known on YouTube as Epsilon120. We were picking up some fans that day. I picked up the Hampton Bay Callaway too, and he was getting something else and such. And I can't remember what else it was. I think we went to get the Callaway too. He picked up something, and we were checking. I was checking Marketplace to see if there was anything in the area, since we were a bit far out from where we usually live. I figured if we're further out, we might find stuff that we wouldn't see in our normal area. So I came across these. There was four of these, and a TPI Industrial and a Marley Industrial. This is the third relay out of four of them that I'm showing. This one, it's in pretty good shape cosmetically. The one that's really rough is the fourth one, more so due to the canopies and such. But yeah, these are like in a aerobics gym of some sort that's still in business today. It's just they took the fans out to put up those huge industrials that a lot of places have been installing recently. Which for the space, I definitely can see why, because it is a pretty big space, and just having six normal 56-inch type industrials, not that they want to do a good job, but those larger fans would definitely be a lot more efficient and such. Now, what's really interesting about these is not just that they are Relite and such. I mean, you always find these normally under the Airmaster name, with the turquoise motor, or the aqua green or aqua bluish motor with the vanilla looking yellowish canopies. As you can tell, it's not in either of those colors, it's completely white. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this is that the tag underneath the motor, or underneath the lower canopy, is in Spanish, but the caution stickers on the canopies are in English. From what I've been told, these were mostly sold in Venezuela back in the late 80s, early 90s. And these are extremely rare for the fact that not many people even know about these. And they were only sold for a few years compared to the more commonly seen one with the aforementioned finish that I was just talking about. Since those were sold for a lot longer, almost 2 decades completely, this definitely explains why you barely see these. And at the same time, there was definitely more industrial options going into like the 80s versus in the 70s. There were industrial options, but there wasn't that many. And from what I can tell, these were more of a economical fan back in the day that you can buy for industrial use. So that's why a lot of people had bought them. But then you have the Pro line that came out, the Gold lines, the Daytons and such. So there was definitely more stuff being sold. But I mean, towards the mid to late 80s, you see a lot more ring fans and such kind of take the place of the cheaper industrial fan compared to the Relites. This is something I've noticed, and with businesses that opened up in the mid to late 80s. But yeah, I remember seeing a few of these at the gift shop at Fenway Park in Boston. Those have since been removed, unfortunately, from what I've seen on the pictures of the place online. But I always wondered as a kid if they were actually painted or if they were factory. And when I saw the listing of these on Marketplace, I knew that they were definitely factory. So I knew I had to get these. The reason I could tell was that the caution sticker was over the white finish, so that was an easy indication that they weren't painted over. Now, the bearings on this one are not as good as the first two. This one's bearings are a little bit more noisy. I did put some oil in it to see if that would help it quiet down. It runs just fine. Even without the oil, it ran just as fast as the other two. But just for the heck of it, I figured I could put some oil in it. I know the fourth one definitely had some bearing noise, so I'm guessing these two were the ones that maybe were to use more constantly. I don't know if they were like hooked up on all one controller and such. But the fans were like really clean. They definitely were taken care of. The only type of dust they really had is the yellowish looking dust you can see inside. But yeah, this one serial number, which I had the canopy on it just a little bit higher, just for the heck of it. Let me turn this light back on, that way I can see it better. It reads 113166. So this one has a different serial number as well. I know there's, so I'm guessing it's the fourth one. I know there was one of them that had, I think, the same serial number as another one, but I'm guessing that must have been the fourth one with the messed up upper canopy that was cut and such. But yeah. Now there definitely must have been 6 of them originally, because there was 4 of them, and the other 2 fans are both completely different. So I'm guessing that they replaced the other 2 relays over, like the other 2 relays over the years, as they probably had issues and such. Most likely either bearings or the blades got bent on them. Now they were pretty high up, but stuff can happen and such. So especially in an aerobics type gym and such, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, if you look up pictures of the place online, you can actually see pictures of these fans installed, especially on the Facebook groups. You look at some of the older pictures, you can see them in the background. So I actually find that to be pretty cool. But yeah, let me go ahead and start off on the low speed. Another thing I forgot to mention quickly before I let it speed up is it does have this little nick on the bottom. And there's a bit more of a wear on the bottom portion of the motor compared to the second one where it was more on the side. But yeah. Now these blades, I'm not sure if these actually went to this exact one. They're probably mixed up with some of the other ones. I try to keep them as, like, just each set together as much as I could, but it's more so I don't know which fan they went to. But all 4 of them seem to have had blades that bent a bit downwards like this, which I'm guessing that's more so due to the fact that the fans probably weren't used all that much, and that probably caused the gravity to push down on them and make them look more like they were droopy-ish, I guess, compared to other relays or AMSs that you tend to see. I just dropped the oil in it before starting the video, so it might still be a little bit noisy. It might end up getting quieter when I do the no commentary video and the iMovie edition video. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a real light, so I'm maybe not surprised if it's like that. But yeah, I've been wanting to test them for the longest time. Like, back when I got on my set, I wanted to test them. Just I didn't really know how to hook up a control for them down here at the time, and I needed to get a mounting piece to be able to hang industrials down here and such that don't mount with a ball and socket and such. Yeah, this one's very probably need some more oil. I didn't want to soak it with oil because I didn't want it to like splatter all over the place when it gets faster. And it's definitely want to be a bad fan like for like a basement install or garage install. I was originally thinking about selling this one and the 4th one to Mark, but I honestly don't want to part any of them. Like, I'd rather keep them together since they've been together for so many years. If I had 6 of them, that might be a different story, but if there was still the other 2, but I don't know, it's just, if I have 4 of them, I mean, the 4th one definitely, I would just probably paint the bottom canopy and just find another canopy from another one that's beat and just swap it out, so that way it's more complete looking again, instead of it looking like it's been chopped off and such. I probably just I wouldn't mind using these for like a garage install, in all honesty. I mean, it's a white finish, so it's pretty easy to take care of. I mean, I probably would definitely do something more reliable, but like if I wanted to have like an install with all the fans being the same, I would definitely use these 4. Because I actually have 4 identical ones. Now, the interesting thing about all four of them is that they had like some sort of like white powdery, or you got to looking dust on them and such, which I find a bit strange. I'd never seen that on a fan before. Might have been stuff that got in them like after they removed them or something. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, the bearings are definitely kind of. It seems like the oil is kind of doing its work, and it's also not. But I think I just do it just because, for testing purposes, just to let the bearings kind of get oiled a bit and such. I mean, it's not going to be ran for a bit after I take it down after the test video, so I figured I might as well just oil it now before I forget to do so. Oh yeah, this one definitely is probably going to need a little bit of TLC. Alright, now for medium. I was thinking about letting it run for like an hour after oiling it to see if that would do anything. So just more so at the end of the day, I'd rather just get the videos of it out and such. Plus, I'm just not trying to waste all the oil on it and just this fan. Since like, plus the fourth one I know is definitely going to need a bit of oil as well. I mean, the bearings aren't stiff on it like the other one that had the Airmaster one. So like, I'd rather like use it more, like oil it more in the case where the bearings are more stiff. The bearings in this one run fine. They're not like stiff or anything. It's just they're noisy. So with this one, I'd rather not waste it with a chance where it might not become quieter. Whereas I can use it for a fan that has more stiff bearings. It would probably help out more in that case. But it's moving good there on medium. I mean, that's kind of the issue with these fans. Sometimes the bearings can get like this over time, especially if they're getting used a lot. I never noticed any of the ones in public making this type of noise unless they're like for like the ones at the Lawrence Habitat, the Airmaster ones there. The ones at the Sam Willows, I honestly wouldn't know only because it's so noisy there since it's an arcade, so it's tricky. And same thing. I mean, the ones in the library, I couldn't really tell either because they're always on high. You'd probably hear more if they're on like a lower speed. Plus, it's so high up, so it's not like I can really get any close to them. But I do know two of them have stiffer bearings, so they probably do make some bearing noise to them. All right, now for medium high. I feel like these would look really cool in like a laundromat install. Have like a line of 3 of them and then have like one behind like a counter where the person usually would sit if there is a person there. So like, I remember like when I found them, it's like I was like, what a coincidence! I found 4 of them, just like there's 4 of them. Where at the time there were 4 of them at the Sam Willows arcade. Now there's only 3 relights and 1 of the Airmaster Encon looking ones, and the 4 cams in the back. And they still had the 3 Airmaster relights in the midway area as well. At the time I was like, well, what a coincidence! I found 4 all white ones when there was 4 all white 4 colored versions in the arcade. I've always wanted to have like these, like the fans that I felt I would love to have like a set or 4 of them or even 3 of them. I wouldn't want to have just one of them. They're definitely a fan I can see myself installing somewhere. It's just the bearings are the issues that they can overheat quickly. But it's not really that big of a motor too. It's really flat. But they are good performance for what they are, especially if the bearings are still in decent shape. like this one. It's just the quality on the fan's really flimsy. Alright, now for high speed. And as expected, it flies on a high speed. Just noisy. Now, I know there's still going to be people asking me if I'd sell one of them. I really don't see me doing that just because I always wanted Relite and Air Masters as a collector, and when I found 4 of them that were all white, I just knew the chances of finding a bunch of them like that at once again it's very, I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. Basically, that's just it. Plus, if someone really wants, you could always paint one to make it look like this. I'd recommend going to one that's really worn out looking and such, if you had multiple. I mean, the ones that are like the greenish motors with the yellowish looking canopies, those are not really that hard to find. It's just, okay, they're pretty common in this area. I don't know if other states, but I know they're not really that rare. But they're very common fans in the sense that it'd be worth painting one to look like this. I mean, in my opinion, it'd be worth painting one like it. If you really wanted one to look like this. Alright, now I'll shut off and do spin down. The video is going to be longer than the first one because I noticed I was talking a bit more in this one, explaining the bearing issue and all that, but with the bearings being a bit noisy, I really feel like it's probably going to spin down quicker than the first two. You know, I know, like I've said in the video, the second one, I'd be willing to let people borrow one, like if they're local and such, or just if they want to test it and such. Oh, it's getting pretty windy out. That might affect the spin down. Oh, it's supposed to be raining soon. I forgot about that. It's supposed to be like thunder and lightning. Hopefully, it's not going to be that severe. I think I might have to finish the testing later on. But by the time you guys see it, it'll already be finished, the filming. I say try not to film when it's raining. Well, if it's raining, just very light that you can barely hear it. Because just the exposure of it I just don't want it to mess up some of the fans down here when I test them. Which is the main reason why I'm glad I don't have the fans down here no more in terms of like storing them. Yeah, it's come to a complete stop, and that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.